am the fire. Love is destruction. This war is mine. I am the missile. I am the fire. Love is destruction. But this war is mine. This war is mine. I am the missile. I am the fire. Love is destruction. But this war is mine. This war is mine. I am the missile. I am the missile.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Wilson's Seahawks going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Oh, and how about this? An onside kick to start the game. Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. And they got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jermaine Kearse, 34 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now another shot here at the PAT. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. Stays on his feet. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. One receiver left, 3 to the right. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's second down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and that'll bring up second down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he floats one there, incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now it's Wilson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Ryan Shazier coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Throwing is Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one's going to be touchdown right at about the 35-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 42 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Tackle made by Deshaun Shedd.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And how about this? It's complete. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
Well, that worked out perfectly. The holder took the ball and found his man wide open for a pass and a score on a fake field goal. I love that play.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Big mistake here by the kicker, kicking it out of bounds.
The one that drives coaches crazy. Keep it in the field of play and let your guys cover.
Now Wilson on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. That one goes for 36 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. Throwing out, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger being chased out left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they had been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start Trevor?
He's got a man, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Antonio Brown, AB, with just one hand to complete that catch. Is there anything he can't do?
He has just continued to impress year after year, hasn't he?
He has never forgotten that he wasn't considered an elite receiver coming out of college. I think every snap he takes it upon himself to prove.
And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lawrence Timmons. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the in a little bit. And you just wonder.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And a neutral zone infraction on the defense.
The defense thought they had the timing count on the quarterback's cadence, but they jumped too soon.
Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson surveying the field. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He's going to take another shot here. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it. And got his man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Here's Roethlisberger. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to go up top again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less
to become
culture
the Rams.
shock.
less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a state.
It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 39 that time. When I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Brown, the lone receiver left. To throw here, now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
First down, this is Rawls. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back-centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so, because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action, the bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. To throw is Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. 4th down. Here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Forced out to his left. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grabbed the lead with the clock reading all zeros before intermission.
I would love to go into the locker room with them because right now they're riding a nice wave, aren't they? They're feeling good about themselves. But I know the coach is going to be talking to them about calming down, taking it easy. We've got a whole second half, but use the way we finished the first one to start the second.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this kick goes out of bounds, and that's obviously why the flag comes out here.
And now you can see the defense greeting the kicker as they go out to play. The starting field position for the offense is excellent, puts a lot more pressure on the defensive guys.
Yeah, and if the kicker thinks he's lonesome, he's really lonesome after a play like this.
Yeah, he better hope that he's lonesome, because who's ever standing next to him is probably on the defensive side, and they're none too happy.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams in Arizona, those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all these places. From Mexico for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the
And how about this, a fake? Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Okay, that was a fake punt, and it was successful. Throwing the football, I know you threw the football in your past off of a fake.
Yeah, but unsuccessful back in my high school days. Old Tim Jones dropped it, hit him right in the numbers. But I'll tell you what, these guys, they love this opportunity, don't they? A chance to get involved.
They certainly do in many of them.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. A very solid gain of 27. Now he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off William Gay. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota.
This is caught inside the 15. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Touchdown of the afternoon, and the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.